I'm Michelle of the Drifting Doctors, and today we are finally getting around to doing a van tour for you. If you watched our introductory video months and months ago, you saw that we bought and built this van as we were finishing grad school. And so we intended to do a tour week one of van life, but we were just so excited about finally decompressing and getting to slow down that we're finally getting around to it 7 months later. So before we start this, there's something that we both have talked about and that we've seen a lot of with van life, and that is that your build is so personal and is so reliant on what it is that matters for you. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that we've done that is specifically for our needs, and we will be the first to tell you we are not minimalist. So hopefully you can see some of our organization ideas, and if they help you, great. If not, just enjoy the show. So we're really excited to welcome you to our home. We do live here. We did clean for you, our lovely house guests, but you're going to see dog hair. You're going to see mess. It's okay. That's part of living in a van. One of our favorite things about van life is that we get to spend so much time outside. As such, we do our cooking outside when we can. We have chairs that we put out just to enjoy whatever scenery we have that day. And so one of the things that we both wanted is an outdoor table, which is super convenient because Landon designed it to just pop right up. So yeah. Other thing right here in our entry that we wanted is some stuff that we really need access to on a regular basis. So Landon will tell you about this stuff because I don't know. But water bottles and our reusable shopping bags and our stuff that we use for Best Good Girl Zelda when we're getting ready to take her out for a walk. So this is just our little entryway, grab and go type stuff.
So we wanted just convenient stuff, so open the door, it could be pouring rain, whatever, we can turn on our lights and everything right here, turn on our charging panel, see what our house battery voltage is, charge all of our stuff, plug in mini inverters, you know, kind of like the norms, water pump, blowers, stuff like that. So remote monitoring for our solar tracker, just so we know whether we're discharging our battery or how things are actually going.
So we opted for a full-size bed, even though a queen-size bed will fit in here. And so that is both of us. Landon is 6'3", I'm 5'4", Zelda is a bed hog. So we do have a full-size bed, but that is specifically because, as we mentioned in one of our other videos, I think, maybe not, we are full-timers in here for the foreseeable future. When we built this van, we got rid of our apartment, we got rid of all of our stuff. And so we are hauling some stuff. And because of that, we have a lot of clothes with us. And we wanted to be able to maximize our storage space for clothes. And so this is my side of the dresser. And you can see, well, if you hop on the bed, we actually have a little hook that holds it open for convenience of putting clothes away, etc. So I have clothes for every occasion in here. Winter, summer, job applications, whatever. Anything can happen. I've got it. So for that reason, we needed to do a full-size bed so we'd have enough room to do built-in storage for our clothing. We're pretty happy with the results. One of the things that we talked about in our planning stage is that we needed a lot of different ways to organize things, and that every single thing in this house needs to have a place. Otherwise it would drive me crazy. And so as a result of that, we have multiple overhead cabinets, which, by the way, these doors were part of a $10 assembly we got at a thrift store and repurposed. So there's lots of that happening in our house, but this is an example of it. For instance, over here, we have child-proof latches because we go down a lot of dirt roads. And in here we have our various beverages, soda maker, our kettle we use every day, different drink mixes, things of that nature in this cabinet. Also in this section we have our kind of daily baskets, Landon's and mine, stuff we just wanted easily accessible. And getting back to that every spot has to have a purpose, you'll see here with a quick shift, this is where we keep Zelda's dog food. So we designed this little area just for her food and treats to fit in there. So it's out of the way, but also super accessible and stays latched while we drive down the road. So another consideration that we had with all of the drawers, we did splurge for the soft close drawer latches. However, even with that, they will still come open while going down the road. So Landon came up with this great idea for a travel bungee. So when we're parked, all we do is move it behind it and the drawers are now fully openable. And then when we're ready to go, we just pop the bungee back in front and it prevents the drawers from sliding out while we're going down the road. Super easy, super awesome fix to a very common problem in van life. So
Michelle had already showed you the drinks and stuff, but here's where we keep our snacks and hot sauces and olive oils and stuff like that. Part of that same hutch set that Michelle had mentioned. We did have to modify them to fit what we needed, and then I use a sandblaster to frost the glass. But that's our linen cabinet. Our monitor is stored here, along with, this is our cell phone booster, internal antenna, and our Wi-Fi hotspot. And then moving into our couch, our couch used to be a 3-section couch, but we got rid of the ottoman in lieu of giving ourselves more desk space over here. We also keep like our gym bags and stuff located in the van. That's just to keep those things out of the way. The more important one is our pantry on this side. Extra coffee, all of the noodles and rices and all that good stuff that we cook with quite frequently. So those are two big areas that we use in the van. Both of these are full-size drawers underneath as well. We use child safety magnet locks to keep them in place and just unlock. We have running stuff, and this is all Zelda's toys and poop bags. Turns out German Shepherds poop a lot. We've got more linens and games and stuff along those lines. And then finally in this area, like we said, computer monitor for anything from watching movies to actually being able to get a lot of work done. We have shoe storage here. The net magnets open so we can pull out our shoes and use those. And then our refrigerator. So we just unbungee our refrigerator when we're parked. Slides out on its whole tray, and we have all of our food.
Hold on.
Alright, so welcome to our kitchen. So gotta have a place for everything, like Michelle had already said. So trash and recycling live down here, as well as the Instant Pot. It's this nice little storage cubby. We have our laundry room, or dirty laundry bin, where we keep both our laundry soap and dirty laundry. It's vented on both sides, so there's plenty of air flowing. More kitchen storage. Underneath the sink, we keep our butane cook stove and our porta potty for doing serious business. But for the not so serious business, we have what some refer to as the she-pee, but in this household we call it the gender neutral urination device, the NUD, which flows directly into our gray water tanks. So that way we're not filling up the toilet as fast, and it's also very convenient. Cleaning supplies and everything else underneath there. We have our utensil drawers. So since everything is custom, Michelle made this awesome miniaturized utensil holder and knife block so that everything just fits in its place rather than using an off-the-shelf one that's huge. And we have our dinner table or workstation table and more kitchen storage and all that good stuff, and the same bungee system to lock everything in place. And then the newest addition, which we love since we only have a refrigerator, is our ice maker. We just fill the reservoir and plug it in, and we get ice cubes, so that way we can have cold drinks. We both end up drinking a lot more water when, when it's hot. When it's hot, the cold water makes a big difference, or just, you know, a nice refreshing beverage every now and then. But that is new to Vanny McFanny V2, or version 1.2.
So when we were deciding which little things we wanted to include in our kitchen, we decided to do a backsplash just so that we didn't damage the wall behind our sink. We did get a super deep sink so that we would be able to, you know, in dire situations, do laundry in it if we needed to and keep things clean around the house. We also decided to get some magnetic spice holders just because it makes it a lot easier. We did reinforce those with secondary magnets in the back because there's a lot of vibrations driving down the road. Now, back to the loving to cook thing. This is it. This is what makes all the delicious magic happen, and we stand by the decision. We know a lot of people, and we've seen a lot of people who have the actual internal cooktops, but we love having this single burner stove. I actually already had it because I'm a little bit neurotic about power outages and things like that. So I already owned this stove, and we said, we'll just use it until we run out of fuel and see if we want to replace it. But so far, little canisters of butane last us legitimately much longer than I expected them to. We're able to take it outside. We have 2 max fans, so we don't really have to worry about fumes because we're able to create a really good circulation even if it's snowing outside. Our 3-quart Instant Pot, I'm telling you, I was super not into joining the Instant Pot crew. But then,
cult. It's a cult.
But then I made hard-boiled eggs in my sister's Instant Pot, and those jokers peeled like nothing. And so we bought one, and fortunately we have the power supply to be able to actually run it with no issues at all. Yeah, Landon could tell you more about that, but I'm just going to say we're able to use it, and it does a great job. We also, every single day, use our electric kettle. This is not the one that we started our trip with. We started our trip with the one we had in our apartment, and it was a huge power sucker, so we ended up getting this smaller guy, and we use it every single morning to make our French press coffee, and we use it in the evenings to do tea and sit outside and stare at stars, whatever it is. So this is our setup for cooking. We have 2 pans with us. We have a deep-sided skillet that we use, and also a small saucepan. I don't know how many quarts it is, but we really don't use that one that much. So it's amazing what you can do with so little space, with so few instruments. But we really are loving it so far, and we wanted to be able to show you what we have going on in our house. This is the view of our sliding door from the couch. I feel like this doesn't end up in a lot of videos. We ended up doing just a little beadboard closure at the bottom to make it look a little cleaner and close that off. This is a dry erase board and a pin board, cork board, whatever you call it, and then just some more 1/4-inch plywood at the top.
Back here is the garage area where our batteries, water filtration system, bikes, hobbies, spare parts, tools, you name it, everything gets stored back here. Starting off with our water filtration and storage system, our connection is internal to the back of the van. We can fill up from a potable water hose, just from any campground or friend's house or whatever the case may be. And that goes down through our water pump system, down into our storage tank, which is underneath the driver's side of the van. We store 20 gallons of water down there. Then it is pumped up through our 3-stage water filtration system, which was actually a reverse osmosis unit that we bought at Home Depot on super clearance, actually the day before we actually bought the van. So anyway, the water pump pumps all the water through the filtration system and then into a 3-gallon pressurized storage tank, which allows us to have filtered water from the sink without needing to run the pump if we want to fill up water bottles at night or something along those lines. The next thing back here is our energy management system. So all that energy is being processed automatically by the tracker and getting stored in our 8 200 amp hour lithium ion batteries. Those are 4 in series, 2 in parallel. so we have a nominal 13.2-ish volt system. And then the distribution housing is just a standard fuse panel. You also have 2 ventilation fans that generally run about full time in order to keep air flowing through back here. And then also, you can't charge lithium-ion batteries below freezing. So when we've got the heat on up front, those fans make sure that enough air is blowing through back here that we generally keep our batteries above freezing. From back here, we have standard power ports to be able to, you know, charge devices, plug in our outdoor lights. When we're running the inverter, we can plug in the vacuum back here, whatever else we need. Hiking boots. This is our bug shield, like outdoor screened porch. Spare parts and little day packs and stuff like that are on this shelf to just be really easily accessible. Of course, safety first. Got a fire extinguisher up by the cab, by the driver's seat. We keep both of our mountain bikes just partially disassembled, like Michelle's handlebars come off and both of our front tires come off. Michelle's nieces made us this awesome, or at least painted this awesome rear stand for us. So like I was saying, we do have a lot of stuff in here, but we have everything for our hobbies, and those lawn chairs get a ton of use. So everything fits in here quite nicely. And it's not too hard to get to it, but you know, when it's time to go rock climbing, it is a little bit of a endeavor to dig it all out. So then finally, on our back doors, we put in some speakers and rear windows that can open. That's Zelda's favorite. Some shoe holders. The cell phone booster external antenna goes up there. And then on the other door, Michelle made an awesome little grill stuff holder. So, little bandsaw for cutting firewood up, and then all of our campfire accoutrements. So this is, especially when we're hauling a lot of miles, this is where I spend a lot of time. We do both drive. I do most of the city driving, but we're both comfortable on the highway.
I just don't parallel park. Hard no for me.
Hard no for Michelle. So a couple things we did make sure of, because both of us used to drive smaller sedans, is we wanted plenty of ability to see behind us. So we added like an additional dome mirror on the passenger side. Helps us see that side of the van a lot better. We have a full-time reverse camera that is always looking from the top back of the van, since a backup mirror really does no good. This is full-time, can show us what's going on behind us. And then when you put the van into reverse, our stereo automatically turns into another backup camera at a lower vantage point, so that we just make sure that we really are never, you know, backing into anything, since it is a fairly large vehicle. This is also our navigation system, our stereo system. So it's a Android-based platform that links to our Wi-Fi hotspot and gives us all of our navigation. We run our Pandora, all that good stuff, so we have music and all that good stuff. Can monitor both the vehicle and the house battery voltages here. So that's kind of an important thing to make sure that we're never running down one battery or anything like that, just keeping an eye on things. A couple of toggles that we added in include our inverter, which runs our AC appliances, and then also our, in addition to that, we can charge our house battery from the alternator while driving through the inverter, or from shore power. We installed a plug on the outside column of the vehicle that allows us to be able to plug into a normal 115 volt extension cord at any time, and then charge from a campground or a friend's house. We don't really have to use that, but the option is there when we want it. So other than that, we both just spend a lot of time up here. All of our cell phones are magnetic all over the place, so we can both magnet up our cell phones wherever we're sitting, or I've got one over my spot in the bed. So we added some additional lighting up here, so when we're getting in and out, it's not pitch black. I added a USB charger up here, so whoever the passenger is can charge their phone without Zelda unplugging it from the stereo. And then finally, there's a bit of a cluster under here, but originally in the Sprinter there is nothing underneath the passenger seat, so we utilized the space the best we could. This is a 3,000 watt peak 1500 watt RMS inverter. So it comes either from the alternator while driving or from the house battery to run our AC appliances. This is our shore power charger that allows us to either have a 3-stage charger charging from driving or when plugged into shore power. And finally is our diesel heater, which pumps out some nice hot air, makes it entirely too warm in here.
Water bowl.
Zelda's water bowl. Selector switch to determine whether we're running on shore power when we're plugged in at a campground or a friend's house, or from our internal power for the AC outlets. And then this is our selector switch to cross between vehicle battery and house battery, or even if we were to accidentally run the vehicle battery all the way dead, or if it were to just fail on us, we can still start the vehicle on our house battery and never have to worry about being stranded. So part of living in an enclosed space, especially when we started in winter months, we started the first week of December in van life, and we've been in places where we've been getting snowed on, rained on, so on and so forth, so moisture really becomes an issue. One, just being able to dry towels and clothing after you shower, whatever the case may be, but also breathing. Michelle, Zelda, and I all breathing in here all night long, we'd notice the windows fogging up if we didn't have our window covers up, and so on and so forth. So one of the nice things that we do have is a very low power little dehumidifier. He's teeny tiny and has lived a good life. Still works great even though we've spilled something on it. But it
Definitely toilet deodorizer.
that's right, that's toilet deodorizer. But it still works. I just got it wired in. It runs off 9 volts, so it runs directly off of our house batteries. Not really necessary here in Colorado where there's no humidity. But we have hooks literally everywhere whether we shower with our solar shower or at Planet Fitness. We've got to be able to dry washcloths and towels afterwards, drying our towels from doing dishes. We also have all of our covers that Michelle's mom made us. They are amazing covers with a thermal layer inside, and they magnet up around the windows. They hang on hooks for the front cover and magnets for the back windows. Even magnets for the 2 Max fans that we have. These fans are freaking amazing. We've been in like 60-mile-an-hour gust winds in the rain and had these fans running to be able to keep cool in here, and not a drop of water's ever come in through them. So we love having those.
So when we were doing this build, we knew that we wanted to be out in nature as much as we could, but we also knew that there would be times when we had to stay in cities and we still wanted to seem a little stealthy at night. So we didn't want to just put up the pure Reflectix window covers that we see pretty often, even though those would have worked just fine. And so the incredibly talented mother that I have, we said, we'd like to have these window covers, gave her an idea of what we wanted, and she just threw together these completely amazing, perfectly fitted window covers that just pop right up. They're complete blackout. We've had them in 100-degree weather. We take them down, and it's like heat wave comes through the glass. We've also used them in 6-degree weather in St. Louis, and it is incredible how much these things are actually working for thermal protection for us. They are lined on the inside with a thermal fabric that she was able to find. Yeah, so if you need something like that done, you need something customizable, send us a message and I will get you in contact with her because she is phenomenal.
So we do use a diesel heater that just is plumbed in directly to our diesel tank and keeps us nice and toasty warm when we are in cold weather. We also, like I had mentioned, have 2 Max fans. Generally, we'll use these as a 1 in and 1 out, depending on where we're at. As in like 1 exhaust, 1 intake, to keep us nice and cool. We have 2 more directional fans just over us in bed because we don't run air conditioning when we're parked. That is for driving only, so having nice ventilation at night when we're in some of these nice hot areas in the summer has been quite important. And finally, like Michelle had mentioned, like the cabinets that we have did come from a thrift store, such as Salvation Army or something the like. But so did our ceiling is actually hardwood flooring that we just flipped upside down, painted, and riveted to the roof. And then our laminate flooring, which we love, and covered every square foot from the behind the cab, even underneath the furniture, also came at a discount price. So basically the gist being that we found as much of this at discount or reuse or through thrift as we possibly could to ensure that we were not being wasteful, but also being able to focus more on the adventure rather than the paying to build it aspect. So,
That's our van.
that's our van. That 69 square feet from where the back of those driver's seats are has been our entire life for the past. We're coming up on 8 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a week or two shy of 8 months living in here. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Best girl does not like being a house dog, so if we ever went back to not living in a van, she'd be probably the one that's hit the most.
Oh, she pouted the whole time.
She pouted the whole time we were in North Carolina. She hated it.
So anyway, this is our house, and we hope that you enjoyed seeing a little glimpse of it. If you want any more information about any of the products we have in here, any of the items where we found them, honestly, we got most of them on Amazon. But definitely feel free to comment, reach out to us, let us know. We're happy to address it, or if there's more that you'd want to see in future videos, just let us know.
Yeah, it's even with COVID, we've realized that, like, not necessarily van lifers, but the nomad lifestyle people are definitely a community. So anyone that would ever want any help or has any ideas for us,
Yeah.
reach out. We're happy to be part of it all.
Yeah, it was a learning curve for sure, but
Yeah.
we used YouTube videos too, just like you're doing right now. So yeah.
Oh, YouTube is boring. YouTube is boring. I'm taking a nap.